But women, I appreciate my wife. I can't even fathom. You talk about, Mitch, if he was to pass away, what would the family do? What would we all do if any of us passed away? I can't imagine what it would be like to be without Margie. If she has gone on a women's retreat, I'm anguished with this. Every time they go on a women's retreat, I'm at a loss. My son and I, we eat scrambled eggs. Honey, please don't die. No. I'll go first. Kids will be a lot better if you stick around. But we know today in the story. We know the story. We know that when Jesus said from the cross, "It is finished," he had conquered sin. We know that with his resurrection, he had conquered death, and we know that he did it all for us, all of us. But what if we didn't know the end of the story, like those women at the tomb? What were the 11 disciples thinking as they were at a distance, locked behind closed doors? I don't think we can even fathom or begin to think about what Jesus' death meant to the passionate followers of Christ. They had believed their master was the hope of the world, the salvation of Israel, the light to the Gentiles. He was the great healer, raising the dead and setting captives free, preaching the good news to the poor. He was the embodiment of the new kingdom he preached about. They wanted to make him king, but he kind of slithered away from all that. Feeding the multitude, they're all talking, "Hey, this is going to be our king. We're going to hoist him up there and vote for him." And as they thought about to his words that it is finished, they must have thought that he meant that it's over. You're there and you're hearing this man of God say, "It is finished." And the human vernacular, the mindset of the mind of man, when you hear someone say it is finished, well then they look at that, he's on the cross, and now he's in the tomb. It is finished. I mean, it's kind of like to the human. It is saying, I tried my best. I wasn't able to do all that you heard me say. But they weren't thinking about what the Lord was saying when he said it is finished. He had conquered death. There is no more sting. It is finished. The other things I want you to remember is that when I said it was finished, I'm coming back. And you tear down this temple, I'm going to raise it back up in 3 days. They still didn't even get on that. It is finished. He conquered death. He's got the keys to hate. He had it all. It is finished as far as all that goes. But they're looking at more in the type of, our leader is gone. He didn't finish what he said he was going to finish. We're at a loss here. We're at a loss. Yet they're seeing things from the side of the stone on this side of that stone. Like the woman at the tomb or the dejected disciples hiding behind clothes. Or if only they knew what God was at work doing for them on the other side of the stone. And without knowing what's happening on the other side of the stone, our lives can be filled with so much drama and the trauma and the fear. On this side of the stone, homes are foreclosed. And you lose your homes. You lose your finances. Your marriages run afoul. And you lose your marriages. You lose your family. All those things are happening today. We're not immune to some of those things that are happening on this side of the stone. And you look back and say, maybe life has presented you with a hard, impassable pass in your life. Something that's going on in your life. You've come upon something, an obstacle or something in your life that is impassable. And you get to try to hold on to something that you can try to make it right in your own human standard and your own power that you have. But God doesn't want you to go there. God wants you to work with Him, not on your own. Work through Jesus Christ the issues of life in your marriages and your finances and your children. All these things, God wants you to bring up to Him. He don't want you to go to outside sources. He is the source. Like the disciples, some Christians ask these questions from behind locked doors. They're shut in. They're shut out from God emotionally and no longer able to pour out their hearts before Him. They want so much to be giving, loving service, but they feel emptied of all hope, and that's the view on the outside of the stone. I believe that there was another figure at the scene who couldn't see past the other side of the stone, and where do you think the devil was?